Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. They got this guy, Keyshawn Davis. Now look, he's a young guy. When you're young, you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to say a lot of things, man, that maybe you regret because, still learning life, man. And obviously he doesn't have anyone guiding him because he should stay from in front of the camera talking so recklessly. Now this is why you see Bob Arum, in my opinion, struggles with fighters like a Keyshawn. All the talent in the world, but doesn't know how to market them, because when you listen to how a guy like Keyshawn talks, Bob Arum would rather run away from Keyshawn Davis. Now, if you wonder what I'm talking about, Keyshawn Davis was out here speaking about Jermell Charlo, and he was very disrespectful, very disrespectful. And for a second, I had to stop and go check to see what weight class he fights at, because I was like, damn, maybe he's just trying to get a fight with Charlo. But then I realized he's a lightweight. He's not fighting in no damn super welterweight. So I was like, what is his story? Start talking about how he's a real this and a real that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and play the audio. You tell me what you think, and then we'll talk about it.
Jermell Charlo likes to front on social media.
Iron Man, the undisputed.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Jermell Charlo like to front on, but when he really faces a real nigga, you know what I'm saying? I think he might just bitch up. You know what I'm saying?
His opinion. This is.
Now, when you listen to what he just said, right? Now imagine, put yourself in Bob Arum's shoes. Just for what he said, disrespecting Jermell Charlo, the language that he's using, right? And he's doing this in front of a camera. And this is the guy who's representing your brand. Now this is where I understand a guy like Bob Arum, where he may, because he really doesn't get that. He doesn't understand when these guys are talking like that, cussing, and when somebody steps to a real N-word. Bob Arum don't have time for that. What's Bob Arum, 82 years old? He doesn't have time for that. You're out here representing his brand. Tighten up, man. And this is where, and I'm trying to think, when I watch Andre Ward is a good example of, I think, how to conduct yourself. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to be a choir boy. That's not what I'm saying. But every time a camera's put in front of your face, you don't have to shout and cuss and attack people and be belligerent. Now, if you're just a Ricardo Mayorga type person, we will see that. But at the same time, they have this thing that we used to say back in the day. I don't even think young people say it anymore, but real recognize real. And we know who's fronting, right? And when I watched Keyshawn Davis in this interview, to me, he looked like he's fronting. And he's not keeping it real or keeping it 100 at all. He doesn't seem genuine. It's like he's forcing himself to talk and act this way. All those antics aren't necessary. And why he has something to say about Jermell Charlo, look. To be honest with you, okay, Jermell Charlo, him and his brother, they can be a little bit loud. They carry on. They make noise. They talk the way Keyshawn Davis is talking in this video. But Jermell Charlo is accomplished. You can't sit here, man, and talk about if Jermell Charlo has someone who's real in his face, faces a real whatever the hell he's talking about, that Jermell Charlo's not going to, I guess he's going to turn away and avoid that confrontation, avoid that challenge. Are you crazy? Out of everyone right now who's unified or undisputed or even has a damn title, right? Out of everyone right now, Jermell Charlo is the one who really got in there with some killers to get his belt. Like, he didn't have nothing handed to him. I'm telling you that right now. There were no judges giving him favors. You understand? Nothing just happened to land in his lap. Jermell Charlo, out of everyone right now, he had to fight and fight hard to get to his position as the undisputed champion at 154. So when you hear a guy like Keyshawn Davis, who has a lot of potential, there's a lot of upside on him. I'm not gonna sit here just because I don't like what he's saying and say that he doesn't have some potential, right? But when you hear a guy like that saying that, you almost want to go in there and just give him a good pinch in the ribs and say, hey, shut up, because you're acting like a clown. You're looking like a clown. The only thing missing from Keyshawn Davis is a big red nose on his damn face. You're going to sit here and cuss and carry on about Jermell Charlo? Look, get out of here. I understand Terence Crawford, Keyshawn, and some of those guys at Top Rank still have a good relationship. But look, don't come here putting your little lightweight nose, silver medalist nose, in the big boy's business. Because when the real deal starts, we're going to find out who's Al Capone. And I tell you this, from what I've seen of Jermell Charlo, when the real deal starts, he's Al Capone all the way. He's not going to sit there and wilt under pressure and get scared and tuck his tail between his legs. Because in those fights that he had every opportunity to tuck his tail and run, especially in that last fight where he had the sequel against Brian Castano. That was a hard damn fight for him. But he did what champions do, man. He found a way to win. So back on this Keyshawn guy, I don't know him, but I'll tell you this: he can box. Okay, he's got IQ, but he's got a long way to go because he's vulnerable as hell to a lot of shots, and he gets hit. And I'm telling you right now, he hasn't really stepped up his level of competition. Once he bubbles up his level of competition, starts taking on guys who are serious prospects, and he starts to get there to, all right, now he's trying to get in the title eliminators. I'm gonna come back to this video, and we're gonna see where Mr. Real N-word, we're gonna see where he is in his career. And also we're gonna see if he continues with this pattern of behavior, where he is as far as Bob Arum and Top Rank promoting him. Because I tell you what, Bob Arum at his age, and even with his staff, and everything they went through with Crawford and the lawsuit, De La Hoya, Mayweather, he just can't. He doesn't have the mental space and patience to deal with these kind of rants and this kind of crap and backlash and these kind of people who are out here poorly representing his brand, Top Rank. Because that's what these guys don't understand. You know, someone needs to get a hold of them and talk about their behavior. It's like Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, man, is a good dude. He really is. But when the camera was being put in front of him when he was on top of the world of boxing, he was a fool. A complete fool, man. Cussed at Leonard Ellaby. Talked bad about Showtime. Getting arrested. Things with women. Out here getting shot at. You know, issues with you know, personal issues, you know, in the ring, not producing, you know, and people were still trying to support this man and give him opportunities, but it got to a point to where people just turned their back on him because it was just too much. You get tired. I mean, look, plenty shit starts to stink, okay? And no matter how hungry I am, you can't come and give me a shit sandwich and put all kind of garlic sauce and pickles on there and put a beef patty on there and cheese and lime sauce and make it all nice and think I'm going to eat that shit. It doesn't matter how hungry I am. Nobody wants to try to digest a shit sandwich. And that's what Adrian Broner, that's what his career became. So he got thrown an olive branch by BLK Prime, and that's good. But Keyshawn Davis, somebody needs to get a hold of him and shake him up and be like, pay attention to what happened to these guys. Pay attention, even with Crawford, pay attention to what Bob Arum was saying. Pay attention to Mayweather. Pay attention to De La Hoya. listen, but in particular, really pay attention to what Bob Arum's saying about he doesn't really understand marketing guys to an urban audience, etc. He still doesn't. So Keyshawn Davis, to me, if he doesn't tighten up, this man may be out there in the line with the rest of us trying to get that block of government cheese and that powdered milk. Because Bob Arum is not going for the BS. And I think what should be of even bigger concern is Jermell Charlo running up on him to test his temperature and see who the real Al Capone is. Because when the real deal starts, that's when we're going to see who's really about that life, as those young people say. And I don't think Keyshawn Davis is about that. I think he is just a young guy out here feeling himself, and I think he's making a mistake right now because I think people are kind of tired of hearing these boxers talk like that. You know, I think we're just tired of it. It's one thing to see two guys get into it at a press conference, but all the cussing, the profanity, the N-word, I'm a real this, I'm from the streets, I'll shoot you. If your dog bites me, I'll bite your dog back. Like, nobody want to hear that anymore. Come on, man, get it together, all right? But that being said, to me, right now, Keyshawn Davis, for that performance he put on in front of the camera, he doesn't deserve a gold star. He needs a big red nose on his face because he's acting like a clown. And he has no grounds to disrespect Jermell Charlo because Jermell Charlo, although I don't agree with his attitude and behavior sometimes, that man earned everything that he has in boxing. They were trying to take it from him, and he handled business, and he needs to have some respect put on his name. That being said, y'all keep cool in the breeze.